Welcome to League of Knowledge with Pansar Dragon. And in this video, I'm going to be telling you my personal champion pool for ranked games. This video won't be covering jungle at all since I can play basically all the champions in the jungle except for Lee Sin, and it'll tell you what kind of champions I play for other roles. And I'm just going to be explaining why I kind of pick these champions for these roles and giving you some insight on why I just play them in general. And I'm definitely not saying that you should play these champions in this role. It's just I want to share like my champion pool since I do feel like some people want to know what kind of champions I play in ranked. Anyways, with all that being said, let's get started. Okay, so before we begin this video, I want you guys to know some fun facts about my champion pool. First off, I hate playing anything in ranked in like ranked 5s or normal games because these champions are my tryhard champions in a sense, right? So tryharding against people who are average players is not the best practice for these type of champions. Unless of course the champion is really fun, someone like Rengar and just one-shotting people. Now that's something, I can find really interesting. It also won't give me the best practice, right? Like say I'm facing a gold player, that won't give me the best practice. Like maybe I'll be too confident in certain matchup. The second fun fact is I pick up on op champions at the moment, or like, flavor of the months, and put them into my champion pool unless they're too hard like Fiora Gangplank. Like there's definitely better Fiora players and Gangplank players than me, and I'm just not confident enough in, my Fiora gameplay to dominate the game in my elo. So I tend to pick less mechanically intensive champions. Anyways, first up, let's go with my champion pool for the top lane. So for top lane, as you can see, I do like playing Diana top. As you guys know, I do play some of that Diana jungle, so I do have some experience with her. So that's like one reason why I put her into my champion pool. The second reason is that she's basically a brain dead champion. Like, if you're trading with somebody and they go on to activate W, pre-6 just poke with your Q or play like a bitch and, avoid dying. And if your Q lands, just press R and all in them and try and kill them. Really simple champion in my opinion. Especially in team fights too. It's like, if you land your Q, go on them and kill a squishy. If you don't land your Q, just wait a bit, see if you can assassinate someone with your R and gap close, etc. And yeah, she only has one skill shot, which is her Q. And I don't feel like there's not much mechanically difference between like a challenger Diana player versus someone who's a diamond master Diana player. Maybe they hit their Qs more or know some techniques, of course, but again, her combo is like really simple to do. But like, yeah, I saw Best Riven NA and S Diana 2 play her in the top lane, so I do feel like she's like a pretty viable pick in there. So I just picked her up. Next up is gonna be Darius. So at the moment, he is a flavor of the month champion and one of the OPs, right? So it's very hard to do bad with an OP champion. And like, I do have some experience on the PvE and playing him and stuff, so I do know how to play him and like his skill combo, etc. and what the damage output on his ultimate is. And like I said before, I pick up on OP champions if I can. And the mechanics of Darius is pretty simple. Press Q to harass, press your E to pull people, press your W to auto attack reset, and press R to basically win. And just like the Diana, there's not much difference between a Darius player who's in Challenger versus like a Diamond or Platinum Darius, and you definitely won't see too much mechanical difference in the skill combos and stuff, right? So his mechanics are easy to pull off, and that's why I picked him up. And also because he's OP. Next up is going to be Vlad. Although I haven't played Vlad in a long time, he's definitely still in my champion pool because of how easy he is to play in lane. The only thing that kind of sucks about him is the last hitting, like you have to get used to that. But once you do, he's pretty easy because he doesn't have any skill shots. You basically press Q whenever it's up, and like press your R to basically kill everyone in a team fight, or if you're going all in. The only difference between a good Vlad and like a bad Vlad would be, say, using your W before the TF uses his gold card on you, and just usage of your W, but there's not a lot of mechanical skill involved with the Vladimir, is there? And like in laning phase, press Q whenever the enemy's in range, right? So again, easy champion to pick up. Next up is gonna be mid lane. Alright, so I hate mid lane a ton, because when you're facing players like Golden Glue, Bjergsen, all of these top tier mids, it's really annoying because you'll probably never win the lane, and you don't know as much as them as they know the matchups, and they know more kill potential than you because they have been playing with Ignite and their champion for longer than you have. So I tend to play champions who are passive and are champions who are melee, which tend to usually lose lane. So I like to play champions going into losing matchups because, well, I'm probably already going to lose, so why not pick a champion who's already going into a losing matchup or has a bad laning phase, so you're no different than someone who's a top tier mid laner, you know, playing the champion that has the bad matchup. But yeah, I tend to like the melee champions who try to survive the laning phase. For some reason, they are carry champions and assassins at the same time too. So yeah, first up would be Diana. Same reason, basically, in the top lane. Picked her up from the jungle and now playing her in solo lanes. And laning phase is really easy. Press W when the enemy tries to harass you, press the Q to poke him down, and then basically just try and survive pre-6, and then maybe you can kill your mid laner. Usually not, because they know what you do and what you can do when you're level 6. Next up is Talon. So the reason I play this guy is because I picked him up when he was like super OP and he had his silence and like, you know, he was meta. So now I just like play him ever since then. And also his laning phase is pretty weak because he gets destroyed by a lot of people and he has to play really safe by like farming with his W. His mechanics aren't like super hard. I mean, you go in, do your combo, and you basically one-shot someone. It's very hard to mess up this combo. Like, you can miss your W, but other than that, it's really hard to miss your Q and R. But yeah, there's only going to be 2 champions from a mid lane, and not the most diverse champion pool for this lane, but at least they can go physical damage or magic damage. Next up is going to be the AD carry. So again, just like mid lane, it has too much mechanics to acquire. It's a very carry oriented role, and it's probably one of my most hated roles before mid lane. Like when you're facing people like Keith McBrief, Sneaky, and Doublelift and shit like that, it's pretty hard to lane against them if you're playing, you know, someone like Lucian or Vayne. They'll capitalize on all your mistakes that you do, so it's really annoying. Luckily, one of the champions I play is Mordekaiser, who really isn't an AD carry and is more like a bruiser type of champion, so I'm all in for this guy. And like the mindset when you're playing with this champion is pretty easy. If your support goes in, just press W and E, and like, you know, the mechanics isn't that hard to play this champion at all. Plus he's just straight up OP, so it's very hard to lose with him. Either way, I picked this champion. I actually picked this champion over my jungler role, so whenever he's up, I definitely do pick him up and play him as an AD carry. And now finally, an actual AD carry that I only play in ranked will be Ashe. My mindset behind this champion was just play her because she is just utility. Plus she has really simple AD carry mechanics. For instance, randomly hawkshot the enemy jungle and try and find the jungler, and then press your W in lane to try and hit the enemy. Once you have 5 stacks, you just press Q, right? And then it becomes simple. And the reason I don't play someone with like a dash is because someone who plays AD carry, he'll have better usage than I would with it. So like playing a champion who doesn't obviously have a dash means less mechanics and more simpler and easier for me to use. But yeah, like an AD carry who knows how to use his dash really efficiently is a really good AD carry, and like I'll never be at that level. So why not just pick a simple champion who I can perform just as well as like the pros. Next up is going to be support. So ever since Ancient Coin got a buff, I started picking up Soraka because, well, that was just the health regen she needed. Basically, I don't even know how it got started, but I felt like she was like really strong, and the best part about her is that she's really easy to play because all I would do is sit back, heal my AD carry, and make sure he doesn't die while at the same time I don't die. So it's a really easy mindset. The only thing that was very confusing to me at first was the usage of her E. I didn't realize it was a chain CC tool and a zoning tool, so it took me a while to use that, but definitely Soraka, very easy to play, and I just picked her up for that reason. I mean, a challenger Soraka is no different than a diamond Soraka in terms of mechanics, right? So it's pretty easy to pick her up. Next up is going to be Blitzcrank, although I don't play him as much as I used to since I picked up Soraka, but he was like one of my first 6300 IP champions, and I really liked hooking people, so in that aspect I just thought he was super fun. So I just like playing him a lot, and eventually I got the hang of his hooks, and that's all you need to do is land those hooks and you're good to go. So mechanically, Blitzcrank is a one-dimensional champion in a sense, and I'm not sure if I'm actually using that word right, but I think I am. But in general, as you can see, when I'm playing my sub roles, I tend to play easier champions, or champions that I just like have a niche for, like Blitzcrank, or just being a meta whore and playing anything that's OP. And maybe this might give you some insight on picking champions for your sub roles, but of course you probably already have them, as usually everyone has that one champion they pick when they're locked into a role. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below what you play in the jungle if that's your sub role and why you play that champion. Is it like easy for you or something like that? Is it like you just like the champion or some because of a skin? I don't know. So yeah, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you guys next time.